The LA Galaxy 2's Chandler Hoffman had a goal and assist as Los Dos took victory against the Rochester Rhinos in the quarterfinals of the 2014 USL PRO Playoffs last Saturday, adding to a standout regular season that saw him finish third in the league with 13 goals. We spoke with him about getting the chance to play for Los Dos, the progression of Bradford Jameson IV and Raul Mendiola, and facing Sacramento Republic FC this weekend. Well, Chandler, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. First of all, congratulations on the quarter-final victory against Rochester on Saturday. Goal and assist, and you guys really had to work a little bit for that win, though.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it was a huge win for the organization, and it was cool to have a bit of a home crowd there. And yeah, it was tough. The last 20 minutes we had some players really step up defensively and finish out the game for us.
You guys obviously had a really good regular season, and especially considering how much player movement there was between the first team and Los Dos. What did it mean for the team to be able to come together, though, and put together that kind of performance in the playoffs?
It was huge. I think it's a testament to the guys that we have on our team and a testament to the coaching staff. Because each week, Kurt was kind of faced with not knowing if you guys are going to be with the first team or are they going to be with the second team, keeping everyone happy and keeping guys fit. So it's a lot to juggle, and I think we did a really good job this year and kind of set a precedent for what could be the future between MLS teams and USL Pro.
Well, I mean, obviously, as you mentioned, the Galaxy are the first team to have their own USL Pro franchise, and it definitely feels like the blueprint has been pretty much set, because from a player's perspective, has it gone as smoothly as it appears to have from an outside perspective?
For me, it's been a dream situation this year. I mean, my first 2 years in the league, I'm like on the cusp of trying to break into a first-team squad, and so if you don't have games like in the reserve league, you obviously have 10 games over a calendar year, which is not near enough to improve. And that, especially when you're young, you need games and you need important games that matter. And so for this year, it was huge. I get 17 regular season games, and that way when I'm stepping into the first team, I have confidence, I feel fit, I feel sharp. And that's something that I couldn't necessarily say the last two seasons. As hard as you train and practice and as much extra work as you do, there's no replacement for meaningful games and like getting yourself in positions that can only happen in matches, when the pressure's on.
Obviously, you've had a great season personally. You had 13 goals. I think that was good for third in the league. Did that mean a lot, being able to kind of find the back of the net and prove yourself consistently at this level?
Absolutely. I think as a forward, you want to score goals, and you want to prove that you can do it at every level. And so for me, the hardest part has been getting an opportunity and getting a chance. I mean, it's one thing to get 8 minutes or 5 minutes at the end of the game, and it's another to get meaningful matches where you're getting the full 90 minutes. And so for me this year, I mean, if you look back at my track record through PDL in the summer, going into my junior year, I had a ton of goals, and then at UCLA. And then in Philadelphia, it was kind of I started a game, wouldn't play for a month, then scored goals in the reserve league. And then last year, same type of thing, no first-team minutes, but scoring in the reserve league. And so then this year, when I'm consistently playing, it feels great to consistently score goals and improve. And now we have a chance to do something really special and win the USL Pro title. You
mentioned the PDL. Obviously, you played for the Orange County Blue Star there. I believe you were all-league in 2011, I want to say. I think I'm correct in saying that. And then you drafted by Philadelphia, got traded back to the Galaxy last year. Is it nice to be back in Southern California?
Yeah, there's nothing like being in Southern California. I fell in love with it when I went to school out here at UCLA, and especially with training outside, it's amazing to, in preseason, not have to go anywhere because the weather's nice enough. In Philadelphia, it's snowing, and in other parts of the country, it's not the best weather come January, but out here it's still sunny, and the facilities we have and the organization is really just first class. So I've really enjoyed my time here.
Are you hoping that the way that you've played this season is going to kind of act as a springboard, hopefully, so that next year, MLS preseason, you can maybe hit the ground running and start to earn regular first-team minutes, maybe in the manner that, let's compare it, Dom Dwyer has for Sporting Kansas City this year?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at what Dom did last year with his 14 goals in the regular season, and then it immediately translates to goals in the MLS this year. And so, for me, I think that's incredibly encouraging to see that a guy like Dom, who's actually one of my good friends, do so well in Orlando, and then now he is one of the best strikers in MLS this season as far as scoring goals. And so, for me, it definitely speaks volume to the importance of these USL programs and how it can translate into opportunities with the first team.
You're obviously one of the players that's a little bit more experienced professionally than some of the other guys in the Galaxy too, but you look at some of the attacking options that you have on that team, where you have a Raul Mendiola, a Bradford Jameson IV, who are just kind of starting out in their professional careers. How much fun is it to have seen the way those guys have played this season and certainly developed as they take their first steps into the professional ranks?
It's been a really cool experience. You know, we came into preseason and BJ Bradford was literally a 17-year-old kid and shying away from tackles and kind of not going in and almost a little bit hesitant. And then you look at him now and he's taking on 25 to 30-year-old men who have been doing it for a long time and skinning them on the wings, are playing with a lot of confidence, and it translates over to the U20 national team. And he's got a really promising future. And then with Raul too, he's very good at combining, and he's learning how to compete on a day-to-day basis. And the main thing for me is those guys not taking plays off, and because they were always going to be great with the ball at their feet and finding players and running at players one-on-one, but now it's the little things as far as it's the playoffs and we need to defend, we're down a man, and you got BJ tracking back 60 yards to win a ball.
Saturday, big game against Sacramento, heading up to Bonney Field. What's the biggest difficulty that Sacramento poses for a team like Los Dos and the attacking options you have? Because obviously they have a very good defense, very good goalkeeping options, particularly with Jake Gleason. A tough team to break down.
Yeah, you look at Sacramento, and I mean, it starts from their head coach, Preki. I mean, he was obviously an incredible player, and now his teams are incredibly organized. And so every time we've played them, they've been a very organized side. Whenever plays start to break down, they're good at disrupting it by smart fouls at midfield so that we can't get anything on the counter. And then, like their game last weekend, they were really dangerous on set pieces. They have some experienced guys that have played in MLS, and it's going to be a tough test. And especially, I can't wait to play in front of the big crowd, and it's going to be one of those games that really does mean a lot. And one of those games where guys have to step up and man up and do their jobs to get us into the championship game.
I was about to ask you about that. I mean, the prospect of going to Bonney Field, they've already announced it's a sellout crowd, another 8,000 fans going to be there on Saturday night. How exciting is that as a player to kind of go in with those stakes, with the chance to host a championship game on the line?
It's incredible. I mean, it even started this past weekend, that the feel of the game, you could just tell it was a step up from the regular season, and you could just tell every play guys are laying it all on the line because it is do or die in this situation. But now we're going to go into a hostile territory with, based on my experience this year, one of the tougher teams in the league, and they're a very good side. So it's going to be a fun game, and it's going to come down to who can make plays when it counts.
Well, I know we're all looking forward to seeing it late on Saturday night here on the East Coast. I know everyone out on the West Coast will be keeping an eye on the game as well. Best of luck Saturday, Chandler, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Chandler Hoffman and the LA Galaxy 2 visit Sacramento Republic FC at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time this Saturday night in the semifinals of the 2014 USL Pro Playoffs. Join us for all the action on YouTube, and follow USL Pro on social media via @USL Pro on Twitter, and also through Facebook, Google+, and Instagram.